Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Jawf in Saudi Arabia. You can't see the Arabia on this map because of the angle I'm at, because we are in the far northernmost corners of Saudi Arabia. Jawf has a very interesting little landscape here. You can see it gets pretty rocky and mountainous up here in the north. And in the south here we have the Nafud, which if you've seen the movie Lawrence of Arabia, there's a scene where they're trying to get to, up to Aqaba here in Jordan. And they can't sail up because all the cannons are pointing to the sea. So he says, why don't you just cross over by land? And they said, well, that's the Nafud, and you can't cross the Nafud. Spoiler alert, they crossed the Nafud. But you can't cross the Nafud because it is just straight sand desert. There is nothing in the Nafud. It is just sun and sand, blazing hot in the day, freezing cold at night. So it's a really amazing little area here in Saudi Arabia where there's absolutely nothing. So pretty rocky and dry up here. You're getting kind of the Syrian desert creeping down up here. You have the Nafud down here. What is in this region? Well, as you can see, we have right here is pretty much the only place where people live in this region. And that is because this region is an oasis. And it's not just any kind of oasis, it is a massive oasis. Pretty much this whole area has an amazing water table, which is underground water, right? That comes up to the surface and creates farmland and drinking water and all those wonderful things that you need water for. So anyone who lives in the area lives in this region. Right here you can see the capital of Sakaka right here. And we're going to be talking a lot about this town right here. It was originally called Jawf. Jawf means the depression, or like not depression, but a depression in the landscape, where there's this area here is the Jawf, but this area was called Jawf for the longest time. Today it is known as Duamat al-Chandal, and this is where we're going to begin our history section. It's such an old ancient area that the modern life expanded and created this city here to be the capital, because this place is pretty old. How old is it? We are talking Stone Age. The Saudi government comes in all the time leading archaeological expeditions, and it seems like they just keep finding older and older sites in this area here. People have been living here since people have been living. There are some really interesting archaeological sites up here. South of Sakaka, there is a place known as the Rajajil Columns, which is the quote-unquote Stonehenge of Saudi Arabia. I'll show it to you on Google Earth, of course, but it's a little valley where there are these rock pillars with some kind of inscriptions on them. And we don't know what they say, and we don't know why they were built. It is just a field of like I want to say man-sized, but they're like 8-9 feet tall stone pillars just sticking out in all different kinds of formations. Very interesting. And also there is I want to say it's like a stele or some kind of pillar that was found in the region here, which has the world's oldest mention of the Arab people. It is possible that the beginnings of Arab culture started right here. We can't say that for sure, but we do know that the oldest Arabs lived here. So if you're of Arab descent, this could very well be your ancient ancestral area. Isn't that amazing? That is so cool. So, Dumat al-Jandal was the capital of a kingdom known as Kedar. Kedar spread out all throughout the region into Jordan and all of that. It was a pretty powerful place, but there was an even more powerful place just nearby known as Assyria. And they fought and rebelled constantly. There are so many stories of kings and queens swearing fealty to Assyria because the last time Syria attacked, they took ancient relics that they wanted back. Once they got the relics back, they would start rebelling again. The Assyrians would come in and conquer, take the relics back, and it would just repeat on a process that went on for way too long. I think Ashurbanipal II was the last king to be like, okay, this has to stop. Like, fool me once, right? But yeah, eventually, of course, the Assyrians would be taken over by the Babylonians. Eventually, the Nabateans would come in and have a huge influence on the region. The Nabateans being the most famous for building Petra over in Jordan. But they built some absolutely remarkable structures in the area here that are still standing. Old castles and fortresses and things. They were really amazing builders, right? I'll show you some of them on Google Earth for sure. The Islamic invasion, which of course Islam began just south of here. You can see Medina right here. And then of course Mecca is just out of frame. Muhammad himself would come up spreading Islam as aggressively as they could. Abu Bakr would follow him, and Abu Bakr really went up north into like the region up here as well. So he came through the area bringing Islam with him. That's when Islam was adopted into the region, and of course has been ever since. We're in Saudi Arabia, of course. The region fell into a decline from its glory days. The Tayi tribe would be the dominant Arab tribe in the area here. And they would many times swear fealty to the Sauds once the Sauds became a prominent political force in the region. The Saud tribe / family tried many times to create a united country, starting in, I wrote down the year 1793 was when they first came up here and said, do you want to join our club? They said yes, but they would have to come back many, many times because many people were against them. But spoiler alert, they would manage to create their own country, Saudi, the Saud family, right? So this area has kind of been pro-Saud. Whenever the Sauds were a powerful family, they would get knocked down but would get up again. And at this point, you're never going to keep them down. They are very much in charge of the area. And like I said before, they really value this area for its history. I do have to shout out the fact that the Saudi government and official Saudi tourism websites are absolutely gorgeous and wonderful and full of the most incredible information. So thank you for that. They really, really want people to explore their country, and they love highlighting all of the cool little things you can find, including this area up here. They really want guys to visit. They really want you guys to visit there. So if you're ever in the area, recommend checking out the archaeological sites here. Let's get into Google Earth so I can show you some of these really amazing sites. Wheel this over here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold it up like this. Let me zoom out so you can see exactly where we are in the world if you're not quite sure where Saudi Arabia is located. Saudi Arabia is the largest country on the Arabian Peninsula. You can see Africa's right here, the Middle East up here, Europe, and Asia, right? So we're right in here. I gotta put this down. Al Jawf. pronounced Jawf. Not how it's spelled in English, but that is how it's pronounced. So let's take a look at the areas over here. Oh, and then look at all of these farms. You got to see up here. You can really see the water table from above. Look at this. Like, we are in the desert. I'm telling you, this water table is absolutely massive. Look at all the farms that stretch up from this oasis water table. Incredible. The main crop grown here are olives, and this region is the main producer of olive oil in Saudi Arabia. So let's take a look. What's this? Is this something cool to show us? No. Very sadly. I've become disoriented. Where are we? Okay, sorry. Dumat en Chantal. You can see this is a Nabatean fortress here. Still standing. You can still explore it and go inside. Absolutely incredible landscape. And of course you can see all around from the tops of these towers. This region was important not just for trade, but it's also on a Hajj route. As I'm filming this, the Hajj is happening, so shout outs to everyone. Hope you're traveling safely. I know absolutely none of those people are watching this now because they're on the Hajj. But hope all goes well with travels. Yeah, this area was on the Hajj route. I read a little story about how the Tay tribe would attack people on the Hajj route who were coming through, going to Mecca. And the Ottomans had to come in and be like, you gotta knock that out. That is not cool. Not cool at all. They're on the Hajj, dude. Leave them alone. But yeah, you can see all of the beautiful green areas around here. All kinds of mosques. There's the castle. Marid Castle, which I already showed you. Gorgeous, right? And yeah, really incredible sights here. There's also a gorgeous lake, which I'm pretty sure it's like a big reservoir, but it's the lake that you can come and relax and beat the heat by. And yeah, enjoy the beautiful little park areas, and yeah, just enjoy the lake. It's neat. You don't expect to see like a massive lake like this in the middle of the desert. Let's look at the food real quick. Like, there's nothing here. It is just miles upon miles upon miles of sand. Just sand. Nothing else. There is nothing there. The food is complete emptiness. It's almost scary in a way how absolutely large this empty area is. But I mean, just to the south is the empty quarter where it's this, but like 10 times the size. It's so big. So here is Sakaka, capital city. Let's see if there's a slideshow we can look at. It's a very modern place. Like I said, it's once modernization came to the area, it sprawled out from the old city, creating a new city. Lots of modern architecture and lots of beautiful trees too, and flowers. Very green little city, isn't it? But yeah, what I really want to show you is the standing stones. Alright, I have to remember where they are. We are in the south here. I might just have to type it in. I don't want to get lost in the food. Let's see if I can find it without cheating. Well, cheating. Without trying to search it. I'm just going to search it. I'm not about to wander throughout this city. Let's see. It is the, you can see my old videos there. Rajil columns. Oh, I was way off. We would have been looking forever. I was way off. the arachidjal columns. So here are some of the stones. They come in all kinds of shapes. It looks like it exploded out of the ground, right? And there's a little museum there. And like I said, these stones have carvings all over them that we do not know what they say. And it is like, you know, not Stonehenge, but the closest equivalent to. You know, I'm a sucker for a stone circle. If you've been around on my channel long enough, I find them to be like the most fascinating types of ancient sites. That guy thinks so too. And yeah, just really, really amazing ancient history. I feel like if I had to go somewhere in Saudi Arabia right now, this would be it. I would want to see this so bad. Lots of other amazing places in the country, but that is a new top one for me. I'm gonna have to check that out at some point in my life. But that is all I want to show you in this area today. Sorry if you can hear my neighbor stomping directly above my head, but it is what it is. I think there's some pictures in here of the just barrenness of the nut food. Sweet camels. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And if you did enjoy this style of content, please consider subscribing. These pictures aren't really helping me out, showing you how barren this landscape is. It looks very beautiful. I guess it's just this reserve area. That's really amazing. That looks like it's photoshopped, doesn't it? Yeah, that's a little reserve. Not indicative of the rest of the desert. But yeah, please consider subscribing if you liked this style of content. Next, we are hopping back down to Yemen. Yemen also has a region called Al-Jawf, so don't be confused. When in your subscription box, you're going to see a video with almost the exact same title tomorrow. I promise you, they are quite different. But anyway, I hope that you have a good